Okay guys, Traffic Scouting 2.0. We did a course about a year ago and it was called Traffic Scouting, and what we were doing with that course was using Mass Page Builder software to generate rankings for thousands of keywords and discover which of those keywords had traffic. Okay, so there's a strategy that's been taught for a few years now called traffic poking. Basically what people have traditionally been doing with the traffic poking has been to upload a video, can be any video, just with different keywords in the titles, and just upload this video hundreds of times into YouTube, thousands of times into YouTube, etc. And that's all good and well because it will tell you pretty quickly, because it's really fast to index YouTube videos, but it will tell you pretty quickly what kind of keywords you can rank for. Literally in minutes you can discover keywords that you can rank for without any backlinks. The problem with that is that it does not tell you which of those keywords have traffic. Okay, so I've been pondering on this since going way back to 2011. Okay, when we released the software called Local Traffic Commando. Now that was one of the very first page builders, but it was not mass page builders for sort of local market. It was also for generic kind of online markets as well, or niches. It wasn't just for local, because of the way that I had constructed the keywords, the way we input the keywords and constructed the keyword phrases. It wasn't the first one. It wasn't the first mass page builder, especially for local. There was another one called Local Pages Ninja, I believe it's called, and I kind of copied what they were doing. I'll be honest about it. I didn't rip them off completely, because what I needed to see with a tool like that was the way that the keywords were constructed, because I had the belief and the strategy at that particular time that if you constructed the keyword in 3 different elements, where you had a front end modifier, where you had your main keyword, and then when you had an end modifier or a location in that end instead of an end modifier, or as an end modifier, then we would always have commercial intent keywords. Okay, that was my theory, my strategy at that particular time. But as much as I tried to communicate that to the guys at Local Pages Ninja, I just never got a reply. So I decided to build Local Traffic Commando, and we built it. And what we quickly realized was that even though that we were ranking for literally thousands of keywords, from one campaign, one click, very few of them would have reasonable amount of traffic. So for all the good that it seemed to do on the surface, there was very, very little value in it. So I didn't drop the product, but I kind of dropped the strategy. I thought I'll come back to that sometime, maybe at that particular time. We had just moved on to different things and more exciting things, and I finally came back a couple of years back to have a look at this again, and I decided that the only way that I would really want to get into mass page building again would be if there was a real strategy behind it that could really benefit us long term. So that's basically what we've got with the Traffic Scouting 2.0. Okay, and the goal here is that we're going to identify keywords that have got traffic, keywords that we can rank with very little backlinks or without backlinks. Okay, I'll cover different strategies as we go through the course, with different ways to construct or gather the poking keywords. Okay, so we're going to be doing keyword poking, but it's going to be within WordPress as well, and the mass page building is with software, which is a WordPress plugin called WP Traffic Scout. The good thing is, if I go and use WP Traffic Scout now, because I haven't used it for a year, I'm probably going to identify stuff to make it better, so that we will get some upgrades with this as well, which is pretty cool. It's always good when you come back to something a little while after the last time you used it, and you can see things that are just glaringly obvious. They need to be done, they need to be improved. And that's hopefully what we're going to do here. Now, the premise of what we're going to do here, to make this as simple as possible, to make it as logical as possible, in my mind anyway, is that we will do a campaign that's going to be based on identifying keywords for one article or one piece of content. Okay, this is really important, and this is where the logic meets the automation to make sense. Okay, because if we automate for being able to do mass page building with a whole bunch of keywords around one particular topic that we're going to be doing an article about, then when we discover the keywords that have got traffic that we can rank for easily, that we can put into an article, either we write or we use, you know, writers from some paid sources to write for us, then that campaign is going to be focused just on that one topic, and it's going to give us hopefully enough that we have got plenty to work with for that one piece of content. Now the major advantage and major benefit of this is that when we understand the keywords that we can rank without very much effort or with zero effort, then we know we're going to get traffic. Okay, that means that we take away the guesswork of what keywords to use and what keywords to target. Okay, also it just gives us that advantage that we're doing everything without the guesswork. We maybe have to work around some things, like, you know, there might be some keywords that are easy to rank, they do have some traffic, the kind of broadly fitting into the article kind of thing for the topic that you want to do. We might have to work around that, and it doesn't mean at any time, it does not mean at any time, let me repeat this really to make this very, very clear, it does not mean at any time that you don't go after more competitive keywords. Okay, you ultimately want to rank for the more competitive keywords. What we're doing here with the traffic scouting is we're going to be identifying keywords that we can rank for very, very quickly, very, very easily, that will bring traffic almost immediately, while we're trying to rank for those more competitive keywords. And here's why this is really important, and you've probably seen me doing this, you know, before, if you've been following my stuff for any length of time over the past couple of years. You'll have seen me using a tool called VidAttack Alpha. Now VidAttack Alpha is based on user behavior signals. Okay, that's getting the click-through from the search results, high retention on a video or on a blog, for example. The blog browser that we use within VidAttack Alpha will go and click on different pages within your blog, and it will spend X amount of time on the blog, whatever settings you put. And if you're using the video browser, the video viewer, then you get your click through from the search engine. It will watch your video, like high retention video view time. You set the percentage yourself, how many views, and you put in the keywords that you wanted to find and, you know, click through on from the search engines, etc. Now all those user behavior signals have taught us one thing, okay, that the longer people stay on your website, then the more your rankings are going to improve, okay, for multiple different keywords. Okay, so what we're doing here by being able to rank for some keywords pretty easily that are very, very targeted to our article, as much as we can get targeted, we want to get targeted, even though we might have some sort of broader kind of keywords that are going to be easy to rank for, we still want to use it in the context of getting traffic coming in that are looking for a solution that we can provide with the article or with the piece of content based on the search query. Okay, that is the one thing that user behavior signals have told us. Okay, if we can match the search query with high retention and user behavior signals like click-through rates from search engines, Google will reward your content. It will move it up in the search engines. So even if we do get something that's kind of in a sort of broader match sense, kind of fits into the article, we have to use it in the context of the article. We have to use it, have to fit it in to a sentence that makes perfect sense or answers a query for that particular content that you are writing about. Okay, so even though it might be broad match, we're not just going to stick it in like a hashtag or just a random sort of word and send some anchor text backlinks, you know, with that. If it's not fitting in the right way, we need to make sure that we are using it, that it's going to fit into the article in a way that makes logical sense. Okay, so that we can put all those elements and all that experience together from what we do know, so that when we are adding these keyword phrases into our content, then they are there for a purpose, that they are going to be useful in what they are there for. And if they're not, then we're not going to use them. Okay, simple as that. We can use them for a different article, different time, but we need to make sure that we are following what we do know about user behavior signals. That is, if your content doesn't match the search query, people are going to bounce off, and that's going to drop your rankings as quickly as you can automate putting them up. Okay, even more so because, you know, we can put articles into page 1 of Google with as little as 30, 25, 30, 20 views sometimes. Okay, when you get real traffic, and if it's for a reasonable search traffic or reasonable search volume keywords, if it's got some traffic on the keyword, you're going to find a lot more traffic than what you did with an automation tool like VidAttack Alpha. And if your content is not matching what the user is searching for, then they're going to bounce off, and your rankings are going to drop very, very quickly. Okay, so we need to use that, and that's basically what traffic scouting is going to be based around. So there's a lot of good solid principles. It's not just a strategy of the how do we get into page 1. That's easy enough. Okay, that's just mass page building. That's just using keywords that are in fact easy to rank, but we want to identify the traffic keywords. From the traffic keywords, we want to be able to assort them into a format that we can use for our content, and to do that we need to do one campaign for one piece of content, so that we can be really narrow on what we are looking for and with the keywords that we are using, so that we can come out with one piece of content that we know that will drive traffic pretty quickly. Now, where does this really benefit us? If you think about it, the best way it comes into my mind immediately is if you are doing like for AdSense. Okay, if you're doing for AdSense, it makes perfect sense. It can also work really, really well if you're doing stuff for Amazon, and you're doing it for you know, keyword phrases based around popular Amazon products, or Amazon products that you know you hope to sell with an affiliate review, etc. It can be very, very good in those kinds of circumstances, and it can also be very, very good for local as well, if you know what you're looking for. But remember, with local, it's not always about the search volume. Okay, sometimes you don't need high search volume to be really profitable, because some products or services may be worth, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars, and you might only get like 10 people per month as traffic, but if you converted just one of them, you could be making thousands of dollars from that just one person if you converted them. So when we're looking at the local keywords, it's going to be a different not approach, but just a different mentality what we're looking for. Okay, so anyway, I kind of didn't expect this was going to go on for so long. It's almost 13 minutes already. So that's basically what we're doing with the traffic scouting. That's just an overview. That's just me from the top of my head telling you, going by these bullet points that I've typed out for here before. Okay, so the important thing is, once we understand the keywords that do have traffic, we use them to map out our money content, and that's where we really need to focus. That's when the real work actually starts. Okay, it's not finding the keywords, it's mapping the content out afterwards, knowing which keywords have traffic. That is traffic scouting 2.0. So let's get on with it, and you will see things I hope are going to open your eyes, not just to this strategy, but to SEO in general. How do we approach it, how we should approach it, and especially the connection or the relation with the user behavior signals and with your content. Okay, you've got to understand the things that will trigger rankings, the ranking factors that we can put into this. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.